Let's start by sitting on the ball. Lining the feet up with the sit bones. So you've got a nice line up the middle toe, the middle of the knee, the center of the hip, both sit bones, and reach tall through the crown of the head. We're going to gather the pelvic floor into the center and lengthen up through the crown. Wrap the ribs around as though they're going down on a diagonal to the opposite back pocket. Sit tall. Keeping the chin down, we'll inhale and raise the arms out to the side and up. And then re-engaging the core, exhale, lower the arms back down to the sides. Inhale, raise the arms out and up. And exhale, regather the core and lower the arms. Feel yourself sitting tall through the center line as the arms relax back down. And inhale, arms float out and up. And gather the core and lower the arms out to the sides and down. Relax the shoulders and lengthen through the core. Let's take the arms wide with the palms turned up. Hands slightly forward of the shoulders so you can see your fingertips in your peripheral vision. Keeping the top of the head reaching towards the ceiling. Re-engage the pelvic floor and the low core muscles. We're going to scoop the belly, tuck your tail between your legs, which is going to pull the ball forward just a little bit. Don't let your chest collapse. Continue to sit up tall, but just with the pelvis tucked. And then we're going to make a circle, so you'll reach the hips over to one side and then out behind you and over to the other side and scoop it around back to the center, and then let's reverse. Reach over to one side, behind you, over to the other side, and scoop back into the center. Once again, in the first direction, circle around. Try to keep the rib cage and the shoulders still as the hips circle. And last time to the second direction. And then sit tall again. Relax the arms. I'm going to bring the hands down on the knees. Hug the belly into the spine. Just relax over the legs for a moment, letting the head hang. Relax the upper body. And slide the hands back up the legs. And sit tall. Let the arms out wide again. Gather the pelvic floor. Feel the belt of the transversus, hugging around your low torso, your ribs wrapping around. We're going to go into the alternate leg lifts, keeping the pelvis nice and steady. I'm going to float the right foot up off of the floor and lower it back down. And regather the low core, wrap the ribs, and take the left foot up off of the floor and lower it back down. Again to the right side, anchor and lift and lower. And anchor and lift, left foot up and lower down. Let's do one more with each leg. And the second leg. And lower down. Relax the arms. Now straighten the legs out in front of you and slide the hands down the straight legs, relaxing the upper body. And let's slide up the legs again, and the knees, and pause for a moment here. Then we're going to come down onto the back. I'm going to take the big ball and hold it in the hands. Knees will be bent. We're going to hold the ball up above the breastbone and relax the shoulders down. And we'll do a few alternate leg lifts here, keeping the shoulders dropped. Anchor in the belly, keep the pelvis steady, lift the right foot, flex your foot, extend your leg out long, and inhale, bend your knee. And keep steadying the pelvis as you lower the foot down. Keep the shoulders relaxed and lift the left foot up and reach out through the heel. Extending the leg and bend the knee and lower the foot back down. And re-engage back to the right side up and flex, extend, and bend the knee. Re-anchor and lower down. And then the left side up. And flex, extend, and bend the knee, and re-anchor to lower. One more on each leg. And lower the foot. I'm going to relax the shoulders, reset the inner core, imprint the back ribs and knit the front ribs. Keep the shoulders down as we raise the right foot and then the left. Keep anchoring, and let's go into pistons. Gathering the inner core, imprinting and knitting the ribs, lower one foot down, tap the foot, Lift it back up and exhale, take the other foot down and lift and lower and lift. Exhale to lower and inhale to lift. And again, one foot down and lift. Exhale the other foot and lift. Let's do one more with each leg. And then bend the knees into the chest. Gently flatten the back. And return to your neutral tabletop. Lower one foot down and keep it down. And lower the other foot down and keep it down. And then we're going to put the ball down for a moment and do the 100. You're going to rest in your neutral spine. Re-engage the low core. Lift one leg at a time up. Bring the hands down to the sides. Press the palms down. Lift the head and extend the legs out. Externally rotate the leg, then exhale for 5 pulses. And inhale for 5. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And one more set. And then we'll bring the knees to the chest. Relax the knees out wide and stir the hips, the thighs around the hip socket, nice and relaxed. And reverse. And then let's bring the knees into the chest and do a little spinal twist, dropping both knees over to the left side, relaxing the right arm. And back to the center, and drop both knees over to the right side. And return to the center. Let's hug both knees to the chest, and then extend the left leg onto the floor, and do some leg circles. Extend the right leg up, anchor the pelvis, and let's circle the leg 5 times each direction. And reverse. And bend the knee. And bring your left knee in, hugging both knees into the chest. Straighten the right leg down onto the floor. Bring the left knee into the breastbone. And extend the left leg up. Stabilize the pelvis and circle 5 times each way. And we'll hug the knee in and draw the right knee in as well, hugging both knees into the chest. Rock on the pelvis. Now we're going to bring the big ball and put it underneath the legs. So the ball will be touching the back of the thighs and the back of the calves. Arms relaxed. Engage the inner core. Relax the shoulders. And then scoop the belly button in towards the spine as you dig your heels into the ball and pull it in close. We're going to feel the action in the back of the legs. We're going to keep engaged around the core. Wrap those ribs and extend the legs out, and then raise your hips up off of the floor, coming into a pelvic tilt. And we're going to stay here and circle the ankles. And reverse. And then point the toes. Keep your legs straight. And hinge your hips to come back down. Lower the hips lower the hips with the spine all in one piece, hinging at the hips, and then squeeze the ball back in. Hugging in close, the legs are parallel. Upper body is relaxed as we roll away. Wrap the ribs and lift the hips back up. Then let's flex the feet back and squeeze the toes. Now you can see your feet like you can't when you're on your side, so try not to have your toes going out to the side. Stay parallel. point the feet, fan the toes, and flex back. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, and flex back. Squeeze, and point, and fan, flex back. Maintain that flex and your straight legs. Hinge at your hips to lower the hips, back down to the mat, and then bend the knees and pull the ball in close. Feel the backs of the legs working. Wrap the ribs around, stretch out. Flex the feet back and open the toes. Keep the feet parallel again. Keep the toes open as you stretch forward through the balls of the feet, and then squeeze your toes and keep them squeezed as you pull back. Open the toes and reach out through the balls of the feet. Squeeze the toes and pull back. Again, open, reach, squeeze, and pull back. Relax the feet and hinge down. And then bring the ball in. Without squeezing it, continue to have the ball touching the back of the thigh and the back of the calves. Legs relaxed and parallel. We're going to place the thumbs on the low ribs and the fingers on the hip points. Stabilize the ribs so your ribs and your thumbs won't move, and we're going to swivel at the waist to bring the knees over to the side. So we're going to anchor the rib cage down. Be especially aware of the right back ribs and let the knees travel over towards the left side. Your hips and the ball and the legs will move, but your right ribs are going to stay down. And then you're going to pull from your right ribs to your left hip and draw yourself back into the center. Try to make that an abdominal exercise, bringing the ball back into the center. Anchor your back ribs down and let the knees travel over to the right side. Your hips can lift, but you're going to keep your left ribs down. And then pull from your left ribs to your right hip point to draw the ball back into the center. Anchor the ribs and let the knees drop over to the left side. Pelvis is traveling, ribs are anchoring. Engage from right ribs to left hip and pull back into the center. Try to let your legs be really passive here. And then rock the ball over to the right side. Keep your left back ribs down. Keep anchoring the back ribs down. And pull from your left ribs to your right hip and come back into the center. Use your obliques. Let the legs be passive. We're going one more time to each side. Rock over to the left. Keep your right ribs down. And pull back into the center. And rock over to the right. Keep your left back ribs down. And rock back into the center. And then relax a moment. Then we're going to take the legs wide like a frog in a turned out position. We're going to grab a hold of the ball with your legs. Relax the arms. We're going to squeeze the ball in. And then roll the ball away and raise the hips. We're still having a wide turned out position. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And keep squeezing them. Scoop the belly and roll down, bending the knees and hugging the ball in towards you again as the hips come down. And we're going to roll away, lift the hips. Keep that external rotation. Squeeze the inner thighs. Maintain. And then scoop the belly in, roll down through your spine, and pull the ball in close again. Squeeze it in. Once again, out and up. Maintain. Squeeze the inner thighs. Now we're going to bring the hands up right next to the legs. Your only hinge here is going to be in the neck. This is called Frankenstein. Your whole body, except for the head, is going to tilt over to one side, and then back to the center. Squeeze the inner thighs. And tilt over to the other side and back into the center. And tilt to the side. Try to let the whole body move in one big chunk, squeezing the inner thighs and back to center. And reverse. And back to center. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. One more each direction. Big chunk. The whole body in one long piece. Rolling to the shoulder and back to the center. Squeeze and over to the other side, squeeze the inner thighs, and return to the center, squeeze, and then we're going to scoop the belly, roll down, and hug the ball in. And release. We're going to take the ball farther out so that your legs are straight and the heels are underneath the ball. I'm going to anchor in the core, lift the ribs, press into the feet, and lift your hips up, stretching your arms up and back. Now, if this is too hard, you can have the ball in closer to your center and lower yourself back down. Arms and hips coming back down. Steady the pelvis. Let's do it again. Lift up, press down into the ball. Lengthen, raise your arms up overhead. Raise the hips. Nice long line in the whole front body. And lower back down. One more time. Press down evenly through both heels. Stretch long. And bring the hips back down. Lower the arms. And relax. Okay, we're going to take the ball into our hands again. Hold the ball up overhead. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to do the abdominal series. Holding the ball here. Have the sense of the humeral heads going down into the sockets. Engage your inner core. Stabilize your pelvis. Imprint your back ribs. Lift one foot up and then the other. And we're going to go into the single leg stretch. Lift the head and stretch one leg out and then the other. Remember that your legs follow one groove. So as you bend the knee, you're hiding that foot behind your bent knee. Chin stays into the chest, shoulders stay dropped. Legs are parallel, in and out through one groove. Now let's lower the head, bend both knees. You can just gently punch the ball, or hold the ball on top of the knees. Relax your feet and your legs, your neck and your shoulders. And then reestablish your neutral spine. Anchor your core. Hold the ball above the breastbone. Lift the head. Double leg stretch. Pull your front ribs in and imprint the back ribs. Exhale, push both feet away. And inhale, bend the knees. Now you can just stay right like this with the ball above the breastbone. Or if you want some more challenge, you can take the arms back as the legs go forward. And really be sure that you keep those back ribs imprinted. So push the legs away. Lever the ball behind you a little bit, but only if you can keep the spine stabilized. One more time. Then let's bend the knees and rest the ball on top of the knees. Rest your head down. Turn the head slowly from side to side. And then we return to our stabilized pelvis, holding the ball above the breastbone. Prepare for the single straight leg. Make sure your ribs are imprinted and knitted. Shoulders are relaxed. Lift the head. One leg is going up, one leg down, and big scissors. And again, bend the knees to the chest, rest the ball on the knees, rest your head down. Gently press the back of the head down into the mat. And then relax the neck and shoulders. Establish your neutral tabletop again, holding the ball above the breastbone. Re-engage the core, imprint and knit, lift the head, extend the legs up. Of course, your head can stay down here if you prefer, and we'll do the double leg stretch. Both legs lowering down slightly and coming back up. Be sure that your pelvis and spine are stabilized completely. We don't want any movement in the spine and pelvis as the legs lever down and then back up. Then let's bend the knees and take a rest for a moment. As we go into the crisscross, please be aware that you're not just shunting the ball from side to side like this. It's not about a shoulder movement. The relationship of the ball to the breastbone is constant the whole time. So the shoulder girdle is moving all in one piece. Establish your neutral, lift your head. We're going to bicycle. Let's go slow motion. So you're going to straighten one leg out and reach the ball up the opposite knee by turning the whole upper body. And then as you bicycle, bring the ball over to the other bent knee. Be sure you're turning the upper torso. Really reach. The top shoulder is up. And then we'll come back into the center and rest a moment, relax the neck and shoulders. We'll lower the feet down. And then we're going to come up onto all fours on the ball. So just going to relax over the ball. So depending on your ball, you may have your knees on the floor or not, but let the upper body be soft. Then let's plant the hands underneath the shoulders and extend the legs nice and long out behind you. Feel the points of your hip points and the bottom ribs, and we're going to try to stabilize those 4 points. Keeping the spine neutral, we're going to extend the right arm out in front of you and then lift the left leg. Keeping those 4 points evenly balanced. Lower the foot, lower the hand down, re-engage. Find your low core muscles around your pelvis, knit your ribs in, take your left arm up, and then your right leg. Stay balanced in the front of the pelvis. Lower the foot down and lower the hand down. Reset your core, and we'll start with the left leg and add the right arm and lower the arm down and then the leg. Reset the core, take your right leg up and your left arm and lower the left arm and the right leg. Now tuck your toes and be sure you're well on the balls of your feet. Re-engage around your low core, knit your ribs in. We're going to bring both hands up underneath the forehead and then raise into a back bend and come back down to neutral. Hands stay glued to the forehead. Lift and lower. One more time, lift and come to neutral. Now we're going to turn like you're trying to look underneath your armpit, or you're an airplane turning. One way, back to center, and then the other, and back to center. And again, turn, and back to center, and the other way, and center one more each direction. Then relax your arms down. Just drape over the ball for a moment. And then reset your core, and we're going to walk forward. The farther you walk forward, the harder this is. We're going to do a seesaw push up. So you can have your fulcrum right underneath your pelvis, or if you want more challenge, you can walk forward a bit farther and have the ball underneath the knees, or even down underneath the feet, depending on how strong you're feeling. I'm going to turn the fingers to point just slightly inward. Engage long through the whole body. Find your inner core, your knitting ribs, and also lengthen through the legs and push the floor away with the hands. And then keep the sense of pushing the floor away. We're going to dip down into a push-up. As your head goes down, your feet should go up. Your elbows are going to go wide, and you're push into the floor and straighten back out. You want to keep your ribs really knitting together so you're stable through your shoulder girdle and rib cage as you do this little push-up. Anchor. As the head goes down, the feet go up. And straighten out. One long line through the whole body. Lower down. And straighten up. One more time. Lower down. And straighten up. And then you back away. And hang down over the ball. Relax. Okay, we're going to come into a mermaid sit. I have the ball out to the left side right now, which means my left leg is just like it would be in a cross-legged position, but I turned the right leg inside out. And if that doesn't work for you, do what you need to do with the right leg. Left hand is on the ball. We're going to make a karate chop on the hand, not on the wrist, but on the hand. Even though your right sit bone is not touching down, I want you to drop through the right sit bone. Left hand is slightly forward of the shoulder. And then we're going to press down into the ball. You're going to feel activation here. We're trying to warm up that serratus anterior. And release. And again, press. Release. And one more time, press. And release. And let's turn the palm, left palm down. Raise the right arm up. Keep anchoring down with your right sit bone and roll the ball towards the left side to stretch open through your whole right side. And then sit tall, and we're going to bring the ball in just a little closer. Put both hands on the ball, drop down through your right sit bone, and push the ball away. The right arm will be straight and the left arm will be bent, and you're stretching the right side, turning your breastbone towards the floor. And then sit tall. And let's bring the ball over to the other side. We reverse the legs. Right leg is in a cross-legged position. Left leg is inside out. Karate chop on the ball. The meaty part of the hand, not the wrist. Hand a little forward of the shoulder. Engage your core and drop down through your left sit bone as you press down into the ball. And then relax that. And again, press. And relax. One more time, press. And relax. And turn, face the ball. Bring it just a little closer in. Both hands on the ball, the elbows are bent. Engage your core, anchor with the pelvis, and roll the ball away. You're dropping down through your left sit bone and stretching your left side. And come on up. And then let's sit up on the ball. As we began, feet, ankles, knees, sit bones all in line. I'm going to float the arms up in front of the shoulders. Engage the low core, so feel the pelvic floor gathering in. Wrap the transversus, scoop your belly, wrap your ribs around, and then we're going to walk the ball underneath the lower back. And bring the hands behind the head, open the elbows out wide. Go ahead and open the chest just a little, feel your ribs open. Then re-engage pelvic floor, transversus belt, knit and imprint your ribs, and go into a little head lift. And come on back down, and exhale to lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. And then let's finish by opening the chest. You can keep supporting the head or stretch your arms back. Put your breath into your chest, feel the length in the front of the body. Now regather the low core, knit your ribs, bring your hands behind your head, and support your head up. Then scoop the belly, and roll the ball back underneath you. Keep your legs straight, and go down into a forward bend. And slide your hands up your legs, sit tall and bend the knees. I'm going to float the arms out wide. Relax the shoulders, hands slightly forward of the hips. And we'll do some bounces. Feeling the pelvic floor support, the belt support. Let your arms relax down at your sides, soften your shoulders, be tall through the crown of the head. Let the bounces become a little bit more vigorous. And then re-engage your core and get ready to support yourself as you come up into a standing position. So gather the low core and then bring yourself up to standing. Lift tall through the crown of the head. Drop the chin. Roll the arms out in the sockets. And relax. Let's do one more thing while we're here. Put the ball in front of you. Bend down, fingertips on the ball. Remember, make your feet parallel to each other. Roll the ball away and get a nice big stretch for the back. And then gather the low core. Gently scoop the belly, roll the ball back in as you come up tall. Lift tall through the crown of the head. Roll the arms out in the sockets. Lifting open the breastbone. And relax. All right. Enjoy. Thank you.